Hello and welcome. Welcome to our next webinar with the topic KNX, Visualization, Updates and Solutions. Yeah, my name is Thorsten Reibel. I'm sitting here together with Jürgen Schilder, but I have two colleagues at ABB Busch-Jaeger in Lüdenscheid. It's Ilya Zivadinovic and Peter de Jager, the responsible product manager for these products we are talking about today. And they will run the most of the webinar today. Good, yeah, our topic today, KNX Visualization, Updates and Solutions. Three components behind. Two components already existing for some time, the Busch-ComfortTouch. There is a new release, new software behind, as well as for the Busch-ControlTouch. New will be the Busch-SmartTouch 7-inch. Also here a small presentation, but then mainly a demonstration of parameterizing this component and the functions behind, done then by Peter de Jager. Good, I hand over to Ilya now. He will start with a presentation and with the first information about these three products. Just a moment.
So, welcome from my side. As Thorsten mentioned, this webinar is split into four main parts. The first two parts will be to give you a brief introduction into the new release for the Control and the ComfortTouch. Then I want to give an overview about and the presentation about the SmartTouch, followed by a live demonstration shown by Peter de Jager, our product manager for the visualization or for visualization products. During my presentation, feel free to type your questions in the chat box. In the background, Peter will try to answer it immediately. So let's start with the first presentation, ControlTouch Release 1.2. In the next slides, we want to give you an overview about the improvements and the new functionalities of the release 1.2. The new release is already available. The release contains new features on the device side, on the app side, and on the online My ABB Living Space side. All you need to do is to go on the local device commissioning page, click on the button Check for Updates, and confirm the installation. In your My ABB Living Space account, you need to do nothing. That already happened automatically. And make sure you have also updated the app on your mobile device. The main topics of the release are, first, the improvement and enhancement of several new functions within the software, and second, the remote control over the My ABB Living Space service. Now in details. With integration into My ABB Living Space service, you have now the more comfortable solution to control your home and or building over remote access. VPN or port forwarding is not necessary anymore. All you need is My ABB Living Space account and the booking of the remote service. The service costs around about 2.5 euros per month and gives you a much more secure connection to your home. You don't need to open any ports in your router. You don't need to set up a VPN tunnel connection or to think about doing DNS service. Here, by the way, the DNS service was already on board in the previous version. It has also no effect when you change your router. The ControlTouch has an own secure link to the My ABB Living Space service. The next point, exception of KNX Learn telegrams. A small but a very user-friendly improvement. Here you are allowing the customer to store a personal set of values, like for lines, like for blinds, etc. in a scene. The new values of the defined group addresses of the scene can be stored over long press on the button. The next 2 points, here and here. Here, the extension of UPnP commands, including some special Sonos commands. Besides the already existing commands, you have now the commands like shuffle, repeat one, repeat all, etc. But you have also some new special Sonos commands like go to playlist number, go to playlist name, play favorites, and more. That gives you more flexibility in customizing. The present simulation with self-learning feature means that customer can define group addresses by himself. He wants to be recorded for a present simulation. The present simulation application records 24/7 the behavior continuously. The recordings of the present simulation can be, of course, played back in case of example, you're on vacation. The recorded values of a week will then be played back in a loop as long as the simulation is active. After deactivating the simulation, the learning process will start again. For a present simulation, it is enough to record only one day, but then only one day will be played back in a loop. For more user-friendly administration of your projects and devices, you can now move a finished device configuration to the archive so that it disappears from your actual device list. The same you can do with finished projects, and a backup of a project can now be stored directly into the cloud, or you can also download a project file and store it on a drive, any drive. And of course, archived devices and or profiles can be easily moved back or be restored again. We have also improved some control elements, like here in the control push button row. The push button row is the most effective way to place several functions in a confined space. It is a very often used control, and that's why we gave them more functions for more flexibility. In some, you can use up to 6 buttons in a row for center value. That was already available in the previous version, but you have now functions like shutter for up and down, switch on off, call scenes, sending UPnP commands, and go to page, menu, account, something like that. All that helps you to build your mobile control page more efficient. The trigger application allows you now to define multiple conditions, to define how the conditions are related to each other, and or logic, to define by setting the brackets which conditions are belonging together, and you can add now multiple actions you want to be started. That all makes it to a very powerful application. You can really realize here a very complex level of automation. The widget function is now available for iOS. The configuration is quite easy. On the commissioning page, under the topic Profiles, you will find now a new tab, iOS widget. In some, you have 20 shortcuts. The first one is a fixed link to the KontrolTouch app. 90 places for shortcut keys are free to use. The possible shortcut keys are value sender, blind control, switch, starting scenes, and UPnP command sender. The spacer is only a blank space. You can use it if you want to separate the short keys from each other. And at least, if you have an Apple Watch, you can now add the quick start icon for direct and fast access, like you can see it here on the top left corner. So that was the first introduction of the new release for the KontrolTouch. Then let's go to the next slide, KomfortTouch Release 1.3.1. The release is available and can be downloaded from our webpage. On the next slide, I want to display you the main topics of the new release. The new release contains now also the integration in the MyABB Living Space account. That allows you the same comfortable way to control your home from remote. Here you have the same advantages like I have mentioned before in the previous slide of the KontrolTouch. One additional important point to mention is if you book the remote service, then you can use it for all your systems you have registered in your account. Example for KontrolTouch, Comfort Panel, Free at Home. In some, up to 10 devices are possible to pair. Your mobile device, like phones and tablets, are going into the account as well. Besides the already existing KNX audio application, we have integrated also a special to Sonos-oriented audio controller application. That allows you to integrate very comfortable and easy configured Sonos speakers. Up to 10 rooms/speakers can be integrated. Often asked, now available. Besides the temperature set point, you can now enable the display of the actual temperature, like you see it here in the right top corner. With the release 1.3.1 comes also a set of new icons. The new set includes mostly icons for groups of lights and blinds. The icons can be integrated into control frames and bubble controls for more visual help of what you are controlling now. Example, a single blind or a complete group of blinds. And at least we have some stability and support improvements for door communication regarding the support of IP cameras, or stability improvements regarding Philips Hue integration and control. And on KNX side, we have included communication object in the application camera surveillance, which allows you to open and close the separate cameras over a 1-bit object. The 7-inch SmartTouch. The 7-inch SmartTouch is our latest product for visualization we have launched. It substitutes the old 5.7-inch SmartTouch panel. In the next slides, I want to give you a brief overview, followed by an introduction of the new commissioning tool, DCA, supported directly from the KNX org. The main objectives we followed are to have a modern, state-of-the-art panel with a new graphical user interface, which now follows our design like in all other visualization products, to give the customer more flexibility in on-site operation, and to use the KNX panel also for our door communication system, Welcome. The 7-inch panel comes with real materials, real capacitive glass display, and real brushed steel in form of the design line. The graphical user interface follows our color concept and indicates the functions of the control frames. By using additionally our welcome system, the display will switch automatically by ringing to the door entry system camera and offers you the same operation controls like you know it from the door entry system. The panel can be surface mounted, flush mounted, or be mounted on our desktop stand. Some slides later I will show it a little bit more in details. Besides the KNX power supply, you need a separate power supply for the display. That can be any 20 to 32 volt power supply, or in combination with our welcome system, the system controller will deliver the needed power. For navigation and control, you have in some 30 pages maximum you can use with up to 480 control elements. How to commission the page and controls, we want to show it later in a demonstration. The panel itself is noiseless. It comes without a fan. That makes it very attractive for installation, example in bedrooms, apartments, or hotel rooms. The integrated hearing loop avoids an unpleasant noise in our hearing aid or in your hearing aid in case of you need to carry one. By ordering a panel, it will always come with the latest operation system on the included SD card. All you need to do is to put the card in the slot and follow the instructions. Various controls like switches, dimmers, blind controls, RGB, audio, and more, and applications like scene editors, timer, logic, alarms, presence simulation, and so on, allows you to reach a high degree of automation. By the way, controls can easily be put via drag and drop inside the DCA, the commissioning tool. Peter will show it later live. The panels are available in the colors white and black. With the white and black panels, you can choose the frames in the same color for surface-mounted installation and for the desk stand. If you choose a flush-mounted installation, you have for that a mounting box for briquette or cavity walls. The frame fits also on VDE and Swiss standard installation boxes, and it fits also on the old SmartTouch box if you already have an existing installation or project where you want or need to renew it. The backside of the panel offers you, besides the connection for the KNX bus, also the same adjustment as you already know, for the welcome system, for addressing, for master-slave, termination resistor, and directly connection of a conventional push button for the level doorbell. The panel costs below 1,000 euros, and the frame and installation box round about 50 euros. I will hand over the presenter role to Peter.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this webinar also from my side. First of all, I want to show you this is not DCA. This is something I want to talk about a little bit later. It was the power tool application because we have made two. But first, applications. First, I wanted to show you something about the DCA. The DCA is a new kind of, you could almost say it's like a plugin, but plugin into the ETS. So it's not a separate standalone plugin, but it's really embedded into the ETS, and it's a new way of commissioning devices that has a little bit more parameters than a normal switch or a normal actuator. The DCA, maybe I have to explain a little bit what it stands for. It's a device commissioning application. So it's a really application for one device. Why did we do this? Of course, we are not allowed anymore to make plugins for ATS5, and so we have chosen here for the DCA. But there is the DCA is not ready yet, or you could say the KNX is not ready yet to handle such a big application. But we are working together very near with each other, with the KNX Association, to make this much more better. But first, I want to explain a little bit how the DCA is built, or how it's built up. First of all, you see here this part. This is the navigation part. You could say here I make my navigation through the panel. For instance, I have so-called home pages. These are pages that are not they are behind each other. You could reach them by sliding with your finger from right to left, and then you will reach each page. You can see this also when I enter here the start pages. You see they are laying behind each other. In totally, this could be 10 pages. And my thoughts about this, or my thoughts behind this, is more or less that you could have a small apartment, and then all the rooms could be behind each other, and you could slide through the different rooms. The other type of navigation is by more a menu-structured navigation, and I will show you it also later on. There will be a small icon in the left upper corner of your display. It's a menu button. When you push it, there is a fly out with the navigation through to the different pages. There's another type of navigation, and it's called the page link. With this page link, you have the possibility to jump from every page to every page. And it's not there's no restriction in there. You can really jump, for instance, from a home page to another room or to another floor, and there is no restriction. Okay, so this is the part navigation. Then you see here, you already saw it. When I click here on a page, this page will be shown here in this screen or this window, and now you have the possibility to add controls to this page. For instance, I want to add a switch. I just drag and drop this switch onto the page, and immediately here in this part, you will see all the parameters that belongs to this switch, and of course all the communication objects. And here you see all the group addresses that are already available in DTS. Or when I want, I can also, of course, add some new. Now I can already drag and drop again here the group addresses to the objects, and they are automatically connected this can be done from group addresses to object, or you can also choose to drag and drop the object to the group addresses. Both is possible. Okay. To explain you all the parameters that there are, it's a little bit too much for this webinar, but I think when you look into them, you will recognize mostly the most parameters are almost the same as the control touch. Some extras we did, for instance, I will show you the display elements. There is the possibility now not only to show a value, but you can also display a status. This can be done in text, so you could have a text for open and close, or for on or off. That's what you want, and it's only a status. The other thing is that there are also predefined displays. Before a nice example is the wind speed. Normally, you have to calculate yourself for meters a second in kmh back to a kmh, or to before. The more the wind speed indication from 1 till 12, and this is done completely automatically. So you only have to choose what unit you want, and the calculation is done. Okay. Of course, this is more or less you build your pages, and there are also some applications. For instance, one of the applications is, of course, the system settings of the device. Here you can choose standard language of the device. We have, I think, a lot of predefined languages already in there. You can here say, of course, what is my, do I want to return to the main page? Of course, I have to fill in here the coordinates of my location. This is used for the astro function in the time programs. There is the possibility, of course, here the security part. Every page can be locked by a PIN code, and here you can choose the PIN code. But there is another thing. Now you can choose if you want to have 4, 5, or 6 digits for your PIN code. Please look through them. There's again a lot of things you will recognize from other devices we already have. Then we go to the part door communication. It's very easy. It's not only for the Busch welcome system, but also, of course, for the welcome M system. And the panel can automatically detect which kind of system you are using. And there are some objects that you can use for also into the KNX. And more or less, yeah, you can say, yes, I use door communication, or I use it not. And when I don't use it, I even not see any icons or so that relates to this door communication. Then you have you have fault and alarm messages. This can be divided in 3 groups. You have alarms, you have hints or information, and you have faults, and they all be represented differently on the device, also with a different sound. And this is the first time that you can choose yourself for which sound you want to have. This is not only for this fault and alarm messages, but also for instance, for the doorbell, for the door communication. You have now the possibility to add some sound files onto your SD card. And you have to keep this SD card then into in the panel, and then you can choose these files to use as your favorite sound. Of course, when you then reattach this SD card from your panel, the panel will go back into the in the default sounds. And when you put the SD card back, he automatically takes the sounds from the SD card. So some flexibility. Then we go to the scene actuators. It's a powerful feature because in totally you could build up to 100 different scenes, but they are divided in 10 actuators. And these 10 actuators, one actuator can have up till 15 participants, and every actuator can have up to 10 scenes. This can be completely pre-defined here. Of course, also what are the participants? Very difficult word, but okay. You can, of course, also combine this. When you think 15 participants is not enough, I can add another scene actuator, and then I have another 15 participants. And of course, I have then to connect them with the same group addresses, and of course, also the same scene numbers. Okay, then we go to the present simulation. This is almost the same feature as we already had in the SmartTouch. You have and also in the ComfortTouch. You have 20 objects, and he can record, of course, all the telegrams that are coming past the panel for a day, and we'll store them. And of course, when you leave the house or you activate this present simulation, then he will play back the recorded telegrams. He will do this for 7 different days. So you can have 7 different time programs, you could say. The first time there is also the possibility to enable here an export, and then you have the possibility to export the recorded telegrams onto your SD card, and it's a CSV. Okay, sorry, CSV file, and you can open it with Excel. You could see what he has recorded. Okay, time programs. Also very little parameters, because all the defining which time programs you have is done directly into the panel. So on the panel can be done by the end customer itself, and it's very easy. But I will show this later on. And you have, of course, here some objects to activate and deactivate the time programs that are connected to the vacation or not on vacation function. Okay, logical functions. Totally, you have up to 30 logical functions, and this can be different kinds of logics. Of course, the normal AND or NAND NOR gates. You have multiplexers, multipliers, of course, normal gate to block telegrams or to pass them with filter function. You can compare temperatures with a continual value, or with two different temperatures with each other. But and the state converter was also already in the SmartTouch, but we added some two extra converters. The two last one here, you can convert now a 1 byte and a 2 byte telegram into separate bits, and this is often used for the newer actuators. They often have a fault telegram, and in this fault telegram there are different faults. Faults can be there combined in one telegram, and every bit of this byte or 2 bytes are standing for a different kind of fault message. For instance, overheating or lamp failure or so on. And now you have here the possibility to split these bytes and 2 bytes again to 1 bit, and then you could connect this also to, for instance, to your fault and alarm messages, so you can see on the panel what is going on. Okay, there is also an internal RTC. There's a temperature sensor in the panel, and there is an internal RTC. And this internal RTC is completely our unified RTC that you know from other devices. So the same parameters, the same objects, and completely the same. So when you know one RTC from ABB, you know them all. So there are some, yeah, of course, too many other things not to explain. Please try it yourself. The software is already available on the internet, and also the devices are already on stock here, so you can deliver. We can deliver them. You can order them. For most important thing, order them. I already told you a little bit that there is we are working to make this DCA even faster than it's at the moment, and therefore, because we are not completely convinced at the moment about the speed, we also made a power tool application, and we needed already this power tool application for the ETS4. Because the DCA is not, you cannot use it for the ETS4, it's only for the ETS5. And this power tool application, you can use it for the ETS4 and for the ETS5. So you can choose yourself what you like the most. The power tool application has almost the same features as the DCA. There are small differences, but not from the applications and not from the possibilities you have to configure your panel, of course. Only there is no graphical part here. You could say there is no drag and drop, so not for the controls. So there's more or less you have to navigate, build here your navigation by, for instance, you can here activate the page, and then you have to say if this is starting page or it belongs to a room. In this case, I will choose for it starting page, and of course you can give it a name, living room. It's only an example. Huh? So I now activated this living room, and when I go back here to pages, you will see that it's now here added directly underneath the standard homepage. That is always there. You cannot delete it, and there's always one homepage. And of course, now you have the possibility to add here your controls by activate one. For instance, I will take here a rocker switch, and then he asked, you can add here already the name when you know it's light 1. It's again only an example, and now you can choose the position where it has to be placed. Normally, he always chooses the first position here in this grid, where he has the possibility to place it. But of course, you can always choose where you want to place it. For instance, I want to have it on place 2. Say OK, and then it will be placed here in 2. Also, a new feature is that you can now change the upper colored indication. Normally, for switches, it's always yellow, or for light switches already yellow. But when you are switching maybe something else with it, you can now change here the color of the stripe. Oh yeah. So now I go back to the homepage. I don't need to change it, but I will start now the preview so that you have also a little overview of what is the preview. It's really a preview. It's not an operated device, so it's not when there are group addresses connected to the same or to different switches. There is no interaction between them. So it's only for showing you how it will look like on the panel later on. So you say you can switch here. You can see the RGB light, and here I can now navigate to another page. That was my rocker switch that I added, and here I see also the interaction of the control, but not when it was connected to any group addresses. When on a page, I can always go back to the home page by clicking here on the top corner to home page. What I already said is here you see the menu icon. When I push this one, I come into this this flyout with the other navigation. On this floor, I don't have any rooms yet, but for instance, I can navigate here to page 1. And when I want to go back, I can push here home page, and I'm coming back to this page. One thing I forgot is that every room can have up to 3 pages, and you can slide through them like this. The thinking behind this is that you could then divide it into different kinds of operations you have. For instance, you have one page with all your lighting, one page with all your blinds and shutters, and one page with all your temperature controls. So that was the reason why. In total, you could have up to 30 pages, and I think that's more than enough for a house or a big apartment. One thing again, how can I? There is here in the top corner you see an icon that is called the favorite icon for a favorite page, and to add some favorites to it, you can here activate the edit mode. And then by pushing these hearts, you can select the ones you want to have as favorites. When I say OK and I open the favorites page, then you see the favorites are added. This, of course, it must be not from one page. This can be from favorites from out the whole panel. There is no restriction. The only restriction is that there is only one page. So you can have up to 16 favorites. The other thing that you saw when I go here into the edit mode is the so-called time programs. You say there are no time programs defined yet. So I click just here on the timer, and it automatically then generates a time program. Then I can choose for which days this time program is. Then I can here at the starting time. And new for KNX is that we now also have the possibility to define an end time. This is not for every control, for instance, not for scenes and not for send a value, but for switching and shutters and for dimming, there is also the possibility for an end time. So I activate this end time. That means the end time does always the opposite from the starting time. For instance, when I say I now created the time program, and I say okay, at 12:40 it will start with switch on, and at 15:39 it will turn off again. So you only need one time program for 2 interactions. That's new. And here, of course, you can say when it's active, always, only invocation, or not invocation. Normally, you can predefine this period when you are on invocation in your so-called extra page. Here you see the timer, but in this preview, it's not activated, so you can click on it, but there's nothing happening because this is it's only a preview and not no real operation.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you, Ilya. I think what a good first impression of the improvements of the 2 existing devices, ControlTouch and ComfortTouch. You see, we have already existing devices. We update these devices with new features, and then you have not a complete new component, of course, but interesting and useful features. And the new SmartTouch replacing our old control panel SmartTouch with much more features as before, and easy to adjust or to program and to parameterize software. And I think really exciting. Allow me to give you an information for the next webinar we will have at the 13th of September. So we will have in August a small summer break. So Wednesday, the 13th of September at the typical hours, 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. We will talk about a really new device coming, at the end of August, most probably now. It's a split unit gateway to connect KNX to these numerous split units mainly for cooling. We have worldwide in use, so there will be a device from ABB, very interesting as well, and with a lot of interesting features. So you will get an invitation, of course, and maybe you mark it already in your calendar, the 13th of September for this split unit gateway, new component. So thank you for your participation. We will send you the feedback email with the recorded video of this webinar and also the slides. And thank you for your participation again, and see you next time at the next webinar. Bye-bye. Ciao.